Welcome, friends, it's the MovieFilm Podcast. MovieFilm Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about the movies. MovieFilm Podcast on the radio. Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zachy Hassan. I'm here with Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zachy?
Hey, 20 years ago, last week, I was in the theater watching Jurassic Park III.
Wow. I probably was. I can't imagine I wasn't. I don't remember it, though. I remember one, certainly, because that's the movie I've seen the most amount of time in theaters. I saw 2, I remember that very well, but I don't remember seeing 3. Honestly.
Well, 3 is generally thought of as the least of the original 3 movies.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, right?
I agree. I think it just makes sense. But I mean, to the degree of which people dislike it, that'll be interesting to talk about.
Yes. Now, I have been on record many times as saying I am a fan of all 3 of these original. I celebrate the entire Jurassic catalog.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy I am. If you throw in a digitally created dinosaur chowing down on people, I will probably have a smile on my face, both leading up to and out of said experience.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm a simple man with simple tastes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But regardless, I feel like this is going to be a fun conversation because this does tend to be polarizing, and I don't know where we'll go. We may be exchanging blows at the end of the discussion. We just don't know. This may be our very last movie film commentary.
This could be the end.
We don't know. Right?
We have to prepare for that.
You gotta tune in and keep your fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not waste any time. Like the movie we are discussing, let's not waste any time.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't need a lot of build up. We don't need to establish stakes or any kind of background information.
Plot, perhaps.
Yeah. Let's just get right into it. So what we will do is we will take a short break, and during that break, I expect everybody who's intending to watch along to find your copy, to scrounge it up, get it queued up, and then we'll talk about Jurassic Park 3 on the flip side of this. And we are back, and we are ready to go. We are watching the one and only theatrical cut of Jurassic Park 3. And if you want to watch along with us, we have it queued up to just before the Universal logo. Of course, if you don't want to watch along with us, that's fine, because we'll try to keep you engaged, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see where this discussion goes. So, Brian, you ready?
I am ready.
So we will play on 3, and as we usually do, it's 1, 2, 3, play. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, play.
All right, man. We have watched a lot of Universal movies.
That does tend to be sort of especially this year.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I just never thought about it before. I've not clocked the studios of a lot of the movies we watch, but I think we always comment on the Globe opening.
Yeah,
or something.
It's certainly the pandemic year. It feels like we've done a lot of Universal.
When was the last time you saw an Amblin logo at the beginning of it?
I was going to ask you that. I was like,
right?
That feels like a slice of a very specific moment.
Yeah, and even now, they'll be sort of at the end, maybe.
Yes.
Occasionally, but...
And,
okay.
Well, and we get right into it.
I was going to say, my fiance had not seen Jurassic Park 2 or 3, so we watched both back to back last night. And 2,
That's
of course,
intense.
is also directed by Steven Spielberg, like the first one. And I've got to admit, going into the third one, right off the bat, the Jurassic Park logo looked a little cartoony. And then all of a sudden, these claws go shrink, across the screen, like, "Bleh!" And then like the title comes right at you, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, that feels like a little different than the others.
So I should say going in, I like all three, and I enjoy the third one, but I don't think it's a shock to say that it is a step down from the Spielberg directed entries. Not because Joe Johnston, who took over, is any less of a qualified director, but it's 90 minutes. It feels a little bit more like a programmer.
Yeah, it does. It does. And you know what? I mean, just cutting to the chase. I mean, it. There's a lot. You can look up the history of the making of this movie, and it is said over and over again that they didn't have a script while they were making it.
Yes.
And, or at least a completed script, I should say, to be fair. And I think you can feel it. Like, it really does just feel like, there's a lot of, obviously the first one, there's a lot of plot and trying to figure out this, you got to get to this bunker. And it sort of makes sense, all the little goals. But in this one, it's really just sort of a lot of traipsing and just what seems, to my mind, possibly leftover ideas they had from previous films.
Definitely that. Definitely that. And I think, and by the way, I mean, Alexander Payne is like one of the writers on this.
Really?
Right? I mean, so it's not like they just phoned it in. They brought in some talented folks to shape the story, but the problem was this movie entered production with one story in mind.
Yeah.
And then about a month before they started filming, both Joe Johnston and Steven Spielberg was like, we're not feeling it. And so they kind of just they went back to formula, but they went back to formula knowing, well, the set pieces and the animatronics and whatever have already begun construction.
Right.
So it's kind of like we need to reshape the story based on the pieces that are already in progress.
That does not feel surprising.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, like you said at the beginning, I mean, it doesn't mean if you're showing up just for the dino action, like totally get it. But I did find myself, even after having seen Lost World like twice recently, and at least within the past year because of this podcast, I just found myself not connecting with this movie and sort of enjoying then when it would starting to get like action packed or whatever. But it just felt like a severe drop in terms of me actually caring about what was happening.
Yeah, the analogy I've made in the past, and this may not work with you because you're not as familiar with the Universal monsters, but if we think of Jurassic Park, the first film, as sort of, it's like Frankenstein or The Bride of Frankenstein. Really, like, it's a genre movie, but it really set a high bar. And then you look at The Lost World, and that's sort of like Son of Frankenstein, where you still got Boris Karloff in there, but it's a sequel, so it loses a little bit of the luster.
Yeah.
And then this is Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're kind of like, well, it's not that other thing, but hey, we get to see Lon Chaney back as the Wolfman. It's kind of nice. And we get Laura Dern here, obviously, but really this is about, hey, we get to see Alan Grant again.
We got Sam Neill. Yep. And it was so, I love it. I love having him around.
He elevates this movie.
Absolutely.
Every frame he's in. You know?
Yep. I started paying attention to him. I was like, he's just effortless. He's just this guy. You just like this guy.
And that's really the thing is they knew from the jump that this movie was going to bring back Alan Grant, but they kept trying to contrive reasons for him to be roped into the broader story. Initially there was this idea of pterodactyls having escaped from Isla Sorna. And so, they're committing, they're killing people, committing murders, like they're serial killers. No, but they're killing people. And so Alan Grant has to investigate. And that was the initial plan. That then they pulled it back. And then eventually they come up with this. And this film has the essential problem, which I've said this to you before. The more further along you go in this series, if you don't adjust the premise, it becomes, no way am I going back to that island. Not a chance. No way. Oh, how did I get on this island?
Yes.
And that's this movie.
Yes. Yeah, and they already sort of used up in part 2 the excuse, well, someone you care about's there.
That's right.
So you can't really do that another time. But I kind of like that whole thing. I guess that, what you just said, dinosaurs attacking people, or I read it as like mysterious killings on the main land, and he's got to investigate. That was what they were doing 5 weeks prior to shooting. And then it was just all scrapped, and they'd already spent $18 million on that premise.
Which is really nuts.
I know. And then I read that Michael Crichton was even brought in with the screenwriters initially to brainstorm some story, but he left after a couple days because he couldn't come up with anything he liked.
I know, he just gave up. By the way, right here, you can call me anything, anytime. She's letting us know how the movie's going to end.
That's so funny. But so what do you think about this, them not being together here?
So this is now fans of the films have said this is one of their beefs with this movie, is that it begins with them having separated in the interim, and Ellie has very happily separated, clearly, right?
Mm-hmm. Meaning that she's with a new
not happily, like she's happy to be
right. She's living a happy life.
She's living. Yeah, I don't mean she's happy to separate with Alan Grant from Alan Grant. I was not as wrapped up in their romance, so when I watched this, I just kind of took it at face value. I know in the early goings, the plan was for the film would come in on them being in the midst of breaking up.
Well, that I don't want to see.
I don't want that. So I'm kind of like, well, I'm glad that she is happy and that they are friends.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's how life goes. Like sometimes you break up with people and you do remain in their lives, and that's kind of nice. In a way, I appreciate a realistic depiction of a healthy, time marches on, but we're still close. And even that thing bonded them for life, I'm sure, in some ways.
Right.
But yeah, it was a little like, like when you see the new guy, sort of like, when you learn in Force Awakens that Han and Leia aren't together, it takes a minute because I'm like, that's a minute. What I want.
Yeah, Joe Johnston, for him, it was, I mean, he said this, he didn't want them together because he felt like there was an age difference that he didn't buy into. I don't think anybody else ever had an issue with that.
I've never heard that. And we looked it up when we did the commentary for the first one, and it's a 20-year age gap.
Right, which, I mean, that's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, it happens,
Well, not only that, but like more so than that, them just playing characters.
Right.
I never didn't buy them on screen together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's
I agree.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's not like it I'm like hung up on it the rest of the film, but it's just it puts like in my mind when it starts. I think this is now 8 years after the events of Jurassic Park, and I do like that we come in on a Grant who, like Malcolm, has become embittered by his experience in the first film. Mm-hmm.
He talks about what John Hammond and InGen created are theme park monsters,
mm-hmm.
and contrast that with his experience, what we saw, when he first sees, the brachiosaur.
Good. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. And then, of course, at a speaking engagement, all the hands go up with questions. And he's like, any questions that do not pertain to
He's like George Bush in The Simpsons, taking in mind I've already explained about my hair. We talk about character actors. As you know, I'm a big fan of character actors. Mm-hmm. And we got 3 great ones here. We got Michael Jeter, the late Michael Jeter.
Oh, yeah.
John Deal from Miami Vice, and Bruce A. Young. And, I think the great thing about getting character actors like these guys, these are top of the line. Hey, that guys.
Totally.
And they represent a type.
Yes. So it's almost a shorthand.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, we talk about how this movie really, I mean, it hits the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the little shorthand that it gives you actually really helps and gets you up to speed, because I think for the most part, the movie, it chugs right along, and you don't really feel the brevity, in my opinion, until the very end, because it feels like it just kind of runs out of track.
Oh man, the ending is so abrupt.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it really does. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest. I'll just outright say it. Like, I didn't have a lot of fun watching this last night.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was a little tired after having watched the second one.
Sure.
And then it just by comparison felt just noticeably less than.
Yeah.
And it just, I was like, so what are we doing? Like, obviously we want to find this boy, right? And so
Yeah.
it's just, like I say, it's just a lot of search, set piece. Now we need to get to the river, I guess. Get to the river, I guess. Like, the army's here, and then it just kind of ends. And like, I wouldn't have. I would have liked a little bit more sort of character stuff to hang on, and then also hang on to, and then also maybe a couple more goals. Just, I don't know.
I think the movie itself, right? It doesn't necessarily advance the broader Jurassic Park storyline.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adventure in the world, but it's not of the world, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I watch it, I'm like, hey, it's a chance to hang out with Alan Grant. We love Alan Grant.
Yeah.
And we go through this little thing. I think when the movie ends, going back to what I was saying earlier, this idea of like the ball has not really advanced. We don't really have a broader sense of what's happening in the world because of, like even the Lost World, right? It ends at a place that's different from the first movie.
Yeah, sure.
Now it's like everyone knows about the dinosaurs and what are we doing, right? And this, it has that. I mean, there's the people who are asking, oh, what about the aren't you an antique now or whatever they say, right? But it feels very insular.
Yeah, and it reminds me a bit of when my friends and I would make movies when we were kids, and we would have like an old VHS camcorder, and you couldn't edit, so you were just hitting record and then doing a scene and then hitting stop, and you hit play, record, hit stop. And the thing was, is you were sort of making it up as you went. You're like, okay, well, there should be like a chase with bicycles now, and so you'd sort of film that, and then you'd stop and be like, oh, well, wait, well, it'd be kind of cool if we did this, so let's go over here and do that. Like, it just feels like they're just kind of, and then this, and hitting record again, and like, it doesn't feel, and to be, I mean, we know that was kind of the case, honestly. I mean, right? Like, they didn't have a script. I mean, William H. Macy even has a quote where he was saying, script was evolving and being rewritten as we went, and it makes you want to say, who launched $100 million ship without a rudder?
That is rather extraordinary. I mean, they had a release date locked in, and so they were just barreling towards that. And I suppose the thinking was, well, the brand is enough to draw people in, and I mean, the movie did all right. So the calculus wasn't necessarily wrong in that sense, but it should have done more than all right.
Yeah, and I think, again, it makes me realize how much I really do care about the story and the characters, whereas Grant doesn't like children in the first one, and then he meets these precocious kids, and they're actually like helpful and bring him out of his shell, and they have that journey, and like it's like there actually are these sort of turns and whatnot with the characters, and I feel like just that stuff is sort of an afterthought in this. I mean, look, you have the family that's getting reunited and healed through this experience, but I don't think it comes even close to the the examination that you could put to those other sorts of arcs in the other films.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so all I was going to say is, so I don't want to be like super hard on it, because it isn't that. And for that, it really does not feel as vital to me.
Yes.
But at the same time, like you said, it's got some good dino action, and it's got Alan Grant again. And so it at least rises to a certain level that's enjoyable.
For me, I remember watching it in the theater opening day, and I had that feeling. I was like, all right, hey, okay, that was fun. I wasn't like, oh man, that blew my hair back.
Yeah.
But I didn't go in expecting it either. And I think part of that is because, I don't know if you remember, but the marketing campaign for this film was fairly muted.
I actually don't remember.
Maybe that speaks to it. I mean, it didn't feel like an event the way even the Lost World did.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I by the time we got to this one, it was like, oh, here's another one, and here's another one.
Well, and just looking at numbers, Jurassic Park 1 had 404 million box office domestic and 1 billion worldwide. 2 had 229 million domestic, 618 worldwide. This one had 181 domestic and 368 worldwide. So it's just kind of tapering down.
So it tapered down, yeah. And again, this is about 8 years after Jurassic Park, so the bloom was off the rose a little bit.
Yeah.
I think time actually has been very kind to this film overall in that it has gotten lumped in for the generations after
Yeah.
as part of one whole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's and I purely anecdotally I can say that about my kids, but also just from speaking to my students, they talk about, oh, we watch the Jurassic Park movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my
Mm-hmm.
family, we watch all those movies, right? So
Right.
it's an experience, and I think that helps.
Yeah.
Uh, and I remember when Jurassic World came out, there was a lot of people online talking about, oh, I'm so glad that it erases the second and third movie.
Mm.
And I was like, well, you can not like the second and third movie, but A, why would you want them erased? And B, what makes you think they've been erased?
Right. Right.
Right? In a way, that's kind of the problem. Certainly with the third one, it is so insular
Mm-hmm.
that what in it requires being quote unquote erased, other than this scene that we just saw with
I was just gonna say we have to talk about this.
the
So
talking velociraptor.
this is the only thing I remembered from this movie.
I think that's the thing most people remember from that movie.
Yeah, Alan's having a little bit of a nightmare on the plane. No pilots. Like, what's going on? You don't realize it's a nightmare.
So that is meant to be, and this goes to sort of the rewrite process. It's meant to be a callback to the beginning of the film, where he's talking to Ellie's parrot, and he says, "Can you say Alan?
Yes.
Can you say Alan?" And the idea is, oh, see, the Velociraptor's doing that. But that's not just thin; that's anorexic, to quote the Lethal Weapon guys. Right? I mean, it's how are you supposed to make that connection?
So you see a Velociraptor literally in the seat next to him turn and go, Alan.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm out in, I don't know why this happens, but when I'm out in Long Island, I go in this grocery store with my fiance, and there's a thermos, and the brand's Allen. And I always take a picture of it and send it to my brother with a GIF of that dinosaur. Now it's become a game because whenever I'm out there, I'm just like, is it still here?
That's hilarious.
Wait, I feel like we should go back about a couple things that we missed here. So we got William H. Macy and Téa Leoni.
Yes.
Right, playing this.
Téa Leoni, by the way, probably the most annoying character in any of the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, no. Let's go back even further. So this movie starts with people capitalizing on the idea that there's this abandoned island that dinosaurs live on, right?
Yes.
So they have
I like that aspect.
Me too. That feels so realistic. Because actually, when Jurassic Park 2 was ending, it occurred to me, oh, wow. So wouldn't that be weird on planet Earth to have this one island that everybody knows, yeah, don't go there. Dinosaurs live there.
Yeah, right.
But only there.
Only there.
And it totally makes sense that all of a sudden some boat company would be like, well, shoot, let's create something called Dinosaur, SOAR, and take people parasailing by and they can have binoculars.
What could possibly go wrong?
Possibly I go wrong. Possibly go wrong. And
I love this POV shot coming up right here where we see Sam Neill get knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
It always cracks me up.
William H. Macy like, ooh.
Yeah.
Kind of like Ernest. Ew. But that's a great idea. Then you got the cable snaps, and now we get these people lost. And so then all of a sudden, Téa Leoni's character.
Well, the cable forcibly snaps because the boat gets wrecked by dinosaurs, because of course that would happen.
Because they're by an island filled with dinosaurs. Yeah. And so then they're portraying this rich couple that's enlisting Grant for some sort of flyby tour, right? And he needs the money for his funding. But things may not be as they appear.
I would have, one thing for all of what we've talked about with The Lost World, where it does feel like it spends its time laying out the land before Malcolm ends up back on the island. I like all the stuff where we see him meet Hammond, where we see how Malcolm is being treated in the world, and we get elements of that here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just something about the story that feels very insular. And I think to the point that you were making earlier, I think having the rescue of the son as the thing that ends up getting Grant on the island, I think that's fine. But I think what would have made the story more impactful is that ends up leading to something broader, a broader discovery, a broader plot.
Yeah, because I mean,
That
yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
that's it. I mean, that's something that they get caught up in. Maybe they find out that there's something going on where people are trying to smuggle dinosaurs off the island, and now it's like, okay, we got to find the kid, and we got to stop this, or something that, again, going back to what I was
Yep.
saying, it carries the universe forward in the sense of like, oh, now the stakes are escalating.
You're absolutely carrying my thought forward. Like I just kind of stopped there, but like you're so right, because finding the kid totally makes sense, and that's a perfect midpoint, right, to
Yeah,
find him.
right.
But then like I say, like the plot just tapers off, and it's just sort of about, oh, we should get to the river, right? And there's
Yeah.
even this kind of funny moment where it's like the kid's smart, he'll go to the river, and then the kid's like, I was never gonna go to the river. You know? And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a joke or if that's like, I'm not sure what that was, but like our first kill there. But
Yeah, that was fast.
yeah. But you know what? You're
So
so right. If there was something set up and a bigger thing that had to be done by the end of act, like that's what this movie's missing. You're so right.
I think so, and I mean, we're at let's see, we're at 20 under 23 minutes, and we've already got a kill and a crashed plane, and shit's about to go down. Now, if you're
Mhm.
watching Space Jam 2, LeBron James has not even met Bugs Bunny yet.
Right.
If you use the Space Jam chronometer, we're, we're pretty far ahead.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so what were we talking about where you said we were watching some movie, maybe it was Lost World, where you were saying this was like Jaws 2 to Jaws 1? There was some
I said that about Jurassic 3.
nah, I feel like there was something recent you were like, well, this is like Jaws 2. You know, it's like it's fine, but
Yes.
it's nothing like the original. I don't remember.
Yes.
The only
What
reason I
did
bring
say?
it up was because the first draft of this script involved a group of teenagers
Yeah, that's right.
marooned
Yeah.
on Isla Sorna, and I was like, oh, so that is like Jaws 2, you know?
That's right. I think Joe Johnston was like, yeah, I don't want to do like Friends on the Jurassic Park
Right.
Island.
It's funny.
It's very funny how he ended up directing this because he's like a big dinosaur fan.
Mm.
Joe Johnston is like, he digs for dinosaurs in his spare time,
Oh, wow, okay.
just like as a hobby, right?
Oh, so this is like his world.
Yeah. So he watches the first Jurassic Park, and as soon as it lets out, he goes up to Steven Spielberg. And Spielberg's like, "Hey, get away from me!" No, I'm just joking. Can you imagine? No, he goes up to. He's like, "Hey, if you ever end up doing a sequel and you don't want to do it, I want to do it."
Yeah.
Which makes sense because at this point he had already done Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He had done Rocketeer, so he had built up a repertoire. So of course Spielberg came back for number 2, but when it came time for number 3, Spielberg was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." So he reached out to Joe Johnston. He's like, "Hey, if you still want to do it, it's all yours."
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is pretty righteous, I got to say.
Yeah, I love that.
Like they didn't go for somebody who was maybe a little flashier.
Mm-hmm.
He went for his old buddy who loves dinosaurs.
Yeah. And I think he does a good job with
I agree.
probably, I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, I thought I had read him actually quoted as saying like this was a nightmare, like making this movie, and I can only imagine. But given the circumstances,
I think he at the time he called it a nightmare, and then after he made The Wolfman, he called it the most pleasant experience I've ever had making him.
I just mean, given the set pieces that he has and trying to make sense of it all in some sort of 90-minute story, I think he does a good job.
I look at the behind the scenes of movies like this, and I'm just like, that's why I don't ever want to be a director. It's just too much pressure, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
This
is fun. I mean, this whole caught in the plane, and
I think this is a good set piece. Yeah, I mean, what we see here with the Spinosaurus is this right here. I mean, that's a puppet, and I think for the most part it works. Somebody was saying, "Oh, it looks kind of dodgy." I'm like, I don't know. I think it looks pretty solid to me. It certainly doesn't pull me out of it.
No,
as an effect.
Again, I unfairly to this movie, I watched a Spielberg directed dinosaur movie before this, and you do sort of, you're like, what's missing? Something's missing, and I don't know what it is. I mean, there's something to the way that he orchestrates rising tension, and also kind of like teases like, that might be important. Keep an eye on that. And it's like this real sort of masterful sort of execution of action. And this is really well done. I mean, it's unfair, to compare them to like The Master, but like you do sort of get it feels a little choppier.
I think part of the problem is that when he made Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg was essentially making a movie that was telling you every step of the way, you've never seen anything like this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And by the time this movie came out, well, we'd seen a lot of things similar to it.
Yeah.
Not least of which being the two previous films in the series. And so it was just harder for audiences to have the same wow factor.
Yeah, that's a good point.
To me, another analogy I make is the first Planet of the Apes for me is just unimpeachable
Mm-hmm.
as a film. By the time we get to the sequels, it's a little like, well, it's nice to just sort of see some of these characters again, but it's not going to be like that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the effects and everything, what was so new and shocking then, it's not new and shocking anymore. So it's less about that and more what particular journey are we on this time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I like this scene here where Grant is just like stuck in the middle trying to get out from them.
I love that, where he's between the two trees and
That's great.
The dinosaur steps over him. But yeah, it's good. That's good stuff.
And I think having the Spinosaurus just take out the T-Rex right away sort of establishes the pecking order in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember, but in the marketing and in the logo, I mean, it's the Spinosaurus skeleton that you see in the And this is another thing that people got real upset about, where they were like, they took it very as an affront that the Spinosaurus kills the T-Rex.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it was bigger, and so that's what would have happened. Like, what are we projecting onto these creatures?
Yeah. I have to admit, I do feel feelings a little bit because I'm connected to the T-Rex.
Right.
And it's like, to me, it feels almost cynical and like, new toy or something. But I also know that that's kind of silly too. Cause like you said, like, whatever, like there's a lot of dinosaurs, and some are bigger, than others. I would never get like in a fit about it, but like, I can understand the feelings of like, oh.
It's the conversations surrounding this film are very interesting, because you have the people who were much younger when the first one came out and they just embraced them all.
Right.
But the people who were slightly older when the first one came out, they're very protective of it in a way that makes them dismissive of the other ones. And it's a bit like what I've found with people who are older than us who love the first Star Wars but dislike the sequels.
Sure.
That same kind of there's a lot of that energy. Right. I don't know. When I look at how I relate to these films, I've never had that. I enjoy them all in different ways. I don't know what it is. I do like this, what we just saw here, where Grant basically finds out that it's all just a scam that brought him there. But Michael Jeter's like, wait, there's two islands with dinosaurs on. Right. This guy was supposed to be like this mercenary,
right? Totally
out of his element.
I read something else, by the way, by John Rosengrant, and I think he had something to do with the animatronics. And he basically said one of the reasons the Tyrannosaurus isn't featured as prominently in this movie is because the animatronic puppet was damaged.
Okay.
And the Spinosaurus animatronic actually took it out.
No kidding.
And his quote is, he said, "That was a really sad ending to a long night of shooting. The Spino threw one final blow and broke the T-Rex's neck. The head collapsed, the neck tore open in the back, and hydraulic fluid shot out of it, almost like blood splurting."
Holy moly.
Yeah, so they were like, okay, well, I guess we're done with the T-Rex.
That's hilarious.
Which to me, again, feels like, it feels about right. If they were just sort of, it wasn't maybe even part of the plan. It was like, well, just stop recording. We'll hit record again tomorrow and deal with what we got.
That's hilarious. That's Alessandro Nivola, by the way. He's kind of gone on to become like a pretty well regarded actor.
Yeah. What's he been in?
Well, he's coming up. He's in the Sopranos prequel movie that they have
Okay.
coming out. He's like the guy who gets Tony Soprano into the life.
Huh.
But before this, what I knew him from was Face Off. He's the brother.
He's the brother?
He's Pollux.
I did not put that together. Wow. Huh. Okay. Oh, by the way, we should mention this is not John Williams doing the score.
Yeah, it's Don Davis.
Don Davis. I think he's doing a great job.
No, he got the gig on Williams' recommendation.
Okay. And Don Davis did the Matrix films, right?
Yeah, by this point he had done only the first Matrix.
Okay. You know, I was on IMDb while I was watching last night, and I saw, Don Davis, Matrix. And sometimes when he does a really good sort of John Williams, sort of flavor for this, but also every now and then when the horns are going crazy, there's this weird, dissonance to them. I was like, ooh, that sounds like the Matrix.
That's right. Yeah, he actually does a pretty good job of being Williams-esque.
Yeah, I think so.
As you say, and he doesn't lean on the Williams motifs a ton.
No, but they do bring back the theme, right? Which wasn't really in the second one.
Yeah, that's right. So in the second one, I off the top of my head, I can think of two moments in film where we get, three moments where we get an abbreviated version of the theme and then the full version over the credits.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that's actually pretty comparable to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she spent so much of the movie yelling. I'm like, Téa Leoni had just a couple years before this appeared in Deep Impact.
Right.
In which I also strongly disliked her character. So
really?
That's not a judgment on her as an actor. I'm sure she's a lovely person, but I've not been a big fan of some of her characters.
Yeah, I know she's in that show, Madam Secretary. Haven't seen it, but there was like a run there where she was popping up in a bunch of movies, but for some reason, those movies just weren't hitting. Like Fun with Dick and Jane and...
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Yeah. She's great in Flirting with Disaster. David O. Russell movie, Ben Stiller.
Yeah. That was what, like mid-90s?
Yeah.
Right? She had a show on NBC called The Naked Truth.
Okay, I don't remember it.
It was a sitcom.
Yeah, camcorder. Actually, I was thinking this more when I was watching Lost World, but Vince Vaughn has a little camcorder and he's filming the dinosaurs. And I was thinking, what a shame that this majesty is being captured in such a crummy format. Like now our phones, can take these HD videos. And it's almost like watching the Blair Witch, like, what's going on?
It is a pretty efficient way of getting us caught up.
I thought it was well done. Yeah. Enough to tease that it looks like they made it this far, but we don't know what happens afterwards.
Right.
To give them hope. Yeah.
I do like how it sets up this camaraderie between Grant and Billy. To the point that, when the eventual plot turn with Billy happens, it does feel a little bit like, man.
It bummed me out.
Yeah. I think it bummed out the filmmakers, which is why they inserted what feels very scotch taped in at the very end with his character.
Right.
Right. I was looking for something online that confirms that, yeah, they made that decision at the last minute. I don't see anything about that, but how could it not be, right?
Yeah. Every time he was saying his name, Billy, I kept thinking of King Kong. You gotta fend for yourself, Billy.
Listen here, Billy. What is he in the? It's Jimmy, I think. Right?
Oh, is it Jimmy? Yeah, that's what it is. But I just still tapped into that for some reason.
That finding her boyfriend's body, that's horrifying.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, I love this here too. She's like, "Oh, it's not about Ben." I was like, "Oh, well, geez." R.I.P. Ben. I'll say it. R.I.P. Ben.
If you don't want to remember him, Amanda.
Yeah. I mean, I could appreciate that she's still concerned about her son, of course. But
I saw a thing online talking about how William H. Macy plays Ned Flanders in this movie. And that's all I see now. And
well, now I might enjoy that on another level. So what year is this? We say 2001.
This is 2001.
When was Boogie Nights?
Boogie Nights was about 4 years before this. Right?
Okay, so this is like, and then Fargo is what, 96 or something. So
yeah,
he's kind of doing the cool movie run here, and this is probably his first popcorn movie.
I think so. Like he was in Mystery Men a couple years before this.
Oh yeah, what a weird movie.
That was an extremely weird movie. It feels like that came probably about 15 years too early.
Yes.
Not to say it would have played any better, but it was like the tropes it was using.
Yeah.
Are much more baked into the overall culture now. You know.
Yeah, but it also feels like it was meant to be this huge summer blockbuster movie, but it was made by like some sort of indie band. Or something.
Right.
Like it doesn't feel polished. It feels scrappy and weird, but big. You know what I mean? Like that's just a weird movie. I'd be really curious to watch that again.
I have not seen it since it came out.
Yeah. Oh, I like.
He's doing something sketchy there, Brian.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that.
I know.
I don't like them apples, Will.
Applesauce.
This is really random, but that guy, that actor, who plays the guy that Will Hunting is talking to, he turned up in an NYPD Blue I was watching.
Oh, really?
And I was watching it with my wife, and I'm like, who is that guy? He looks so familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling her, I was like, I just get this douchebag vibe off of him. And she's like, who is it? You know, and then I look him up. I'm like, oh, he's played the douchebag.
You're right.
The douchebag of 97. You know, the DDB, the designated douchebag. Now this right here, look at this.
Straight
where
out
we
of
see
Lost World.
Well, it's supposed to be, however, in a nod to how they were just pulling this movie out of their ass. When this scene was written, this was supposed to be the worker center from the Lost World.
Yeah.
So he's literally looking through the window that Malcolm got knocked through. But this is not that.
But what? That's what I thought it was.
This is the embryonic center.
Oh,
which is entirely different. So that's why it looks totally different. It's a different part of the island. See, so
even again, having just watched Lost World before this, I was like, ooh, like
yeah. I just deflated
here.
Your balloon. Sorry.
Oh wow, that is hilarious. Oh, that's
I like
awesome,
that.
By the way,
isn't that cool?
Yeah,
the raptor flitting by in the background,
out of focus. That's a great shot. By the way, this is what I realized when I realized what a dork I am. I would be William H. Macy, like, oh damn it, I don't have $1 to get this Coke.
and then you run your shoulder into it.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course the other guy, Billy, it busts the window.
I mean, this movie really is like when Ned became a man. That's that's the arc.
You know, it's funny too. I do admire that they try to reunite this estranged couple under these extreme circumstances. Mm-hmm. I just don't care is the problem. Like, it's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't ever find myself connecting with them.
Right.
You know,
well, it's very much, it's relying on your familiarity with the actors.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, well, we like Taya Leone and William H. Macy, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to mention here the music, which we can't hear as we're watching this, but he's using the same motif as the birthing room in the first Jurassic.
Yeah.
But it's slightly more sinister, which is appropriate given that this is nothing at all like what we see in the first Jurassic. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're like doing horrifying experiments.
Yeah.
Here, you know, whatever the hell's going on, you know?
Yeah.
And as jump scares go, I think this is
fantastic.
Pretty great.
This is great. As soon as I saw this, it came back to me. I remembered this moment. Even looking at it now, it's really well done.
Right?
I mean, it looks like it could be in there.
Just the way the eye twitches.
Mm-hmm.
Just slightly. Look at that.
That's great. So
that's where, at that moment, I have literally shit my pants.
Yeah.
It's all gone. I have evacuated while I am evacuating.
basically they're looking at these like, test tube sort of looking things with all these dino fetuses in them, and then one of them looks like a velociraptor head. And then as Leone looks at it much closer, you realize it's actually hiding behind there and ready to pounce. It's great.
See, I think these sequences, when we're in the propulsion of the chase, it works.
I totally agree.
I think Johnston stages these things really well.
Yep.
And so I think that those are the strong points of this movie, right? And so when we're going from sort of chase to chase to chase, for the most part, when you're in it, you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
100%. And I gotta say, these dinosaurs look great.
I agree with that.
Again, for being sort of a 20-year-old film, I mean, the mix of practical and CGI, I think it all looks pretty great.
And I like that the velociraptors in this film are somewhat evocative of how common knowledge about raptors had evolved, no pun intended, from the first movie to this one. So they are much more bird-like.
Yeah, they have the feathers on their heads now.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, they're terrifying.
That is. I mean, when we look at the way the film is structured, they sort of inverse the third act, where you have the big Spinosaurus who you'd think would be the big bad, but then it's really the raptors who they have to get past.
Right. Oh, going back to the whole thing with the fact that they can speak to one another through some sort of throat bone sort of thing. It was funny at the beginning when they were showing it being made with a 3D printer, which I probably back then was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, right.
That tech can't possibly exist.
What's funny to me about the vocal cavity of the raptor and how they, and Grant is telling Ellie, right? He's like, they had language, they were smarter than primates, and then the film culminates with them picking up the thing and whoosh, blowing in the thing, and I'm like, well, if they had language and stuff, isn't this the equivalent of going ooga booga booga booga?
Right.
Like they're gonna be like, well, what do you? That doesn't mean anything. What you're saying?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That bit there where we see them kill Jeter, and then the raptor kind of turns and looks at the camera, very similar to what we see later when Billy gets dragged off by the pterodactyls. I know.
Sorry. That would be funny if he's like, and then the velociraptors run away and they're like, what did you say? And he's like, I just said that I had locked my keys in my car and I needed help. So all the dinosaurs run off. Huh?
Dude, the thing here where like Jeter's corpse is still twitching, that's pretty scary.
Right.
And this right here, this is a cool sequence here where we have Leone dangling from the tree as these raptors are jumping. I mean, I think, the marketing campaign for this, I think the tagline was, it's not just another day in the park. And I'm almost like, well, that's like super generic, right? But I think when you dial it down to really what the movie is basically we crashed, we got to get off.
Yeah.
And when you view it within that context, I think you said this about Fallen Kingdom. It's an amusement park ride.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's basically what this is.
You're totally right. I mean, even if there was some sort of component, I still believe in what I'm feeling and what you said, where I wish there was some sort of business for the third act, some sort of component that needs to be resolved or fixed or set up, or that's good. I mean, they sort of had that satellite phone thing, but it's like, there's no signal, we got to get high, or just anything, just some sort of goal I think would be good. But
I think the question I have is like, what's going on with InGen? Because the second movie really went so deep into sort of the corporate politics, and that seems like a storyline that you want to advance, even if only a little bit.
They must have some sort of thought about this. Like maybe, they discover. Well, that's kind of part two. But I was going to say they discover there's other people on this island. What are they doing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think. Well, and the other thing is, I mean, this movie doesn't tell us what's happened to John Hammond. Is he still alive?
Right. Right.
And Richard Attenborough was still alive at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been nice to get him in another cameo.
Yeah. Now we got the kid, Eric.
Who
He's become like Robinson Crusoe.
Which okay, so on the it's very easy to look at this character and be very cynical, right?
Are you talking to me?
I may be.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I mean, that's the general reaction. Like, oh, this kid, and he's got like the feathers on him or whatever the hell when he rescues him, and And I'm like, when you look at this as a franchise, the audience of which is kids, he's living like the fantasy of a kid watching the Jurassic Park movies.
Yes.
So much so that you have this scene right here where he's like, "Hey, you're Alan Grant."
Yes.
That's what a kid would do, right? A kid who grew up watching the movies would be excited to meet Alan Grant.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think when I saw the feathers and all that, and he's got the mask and the goggles and stuff, the very first thing I thought of was being in a production office and seeing the artist's conception drawing on the wall of like, this is what the kid's going to look like after he's been out there for 8 weeks. And you're like, oh, okay. And then when you see it, you're like, I don't know. It looks kind of silly. However, having said that, of course, he's been there for 8 weeks. Obviously, he's surviving. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not opposed to the idea of this kid being smart and adaptable and in ingenuity and all that.
Well, and I like this. I like the first one more.
Yes,
like,
when you like dinosaurs. Yeah.
I like Trevor Morgan in the role because he doesn't do sort of the dumb kid syndrome stuff that always bugs me in movies.
Yeah.
Where he's very precocious. I mean, and he's probably like 13, 14 here.
He kind of feels like a real kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. He was in the year before this. He was in The Patriot.
Okay. I knew him from something and I couldn't place it.
He played one of Mel's 57 children in that movie. I'm going to say he was the white one. I'm not. He was the white one who is not Heath Ledger in that movie. That's all I got. That's like. But again, I remember watching this. Like 9 years ago, 8 years ago, with my oldest son.
Yeah.
Who at the time was 6. And when the movie ended, when this one ended, he's like, "Oh, are there more stories about Grant and Eric?"
Really?
Right? And I was like, "As a matter of fact, there are, because there were like some children's books."
Seriously?
That were tied in with Jurassic Park 3 that are like sequels to this. And
wow.
So I read those. So I still remember that.
Yeah, I mean, great.
Right? Like
I do. I love that. I love that your kid connected with him, and it's yeah.
I said this to you so many times, but my oldest, he's 14 now. For him, Jurassic Park is his Star Wars. It's the thing he saw at the age where he is plugged into this universe.
Yeah. I love that. I've said this before. I see, kids, young kids like in Target and stuff wearing Jurassic Park shirts. I'm like, that's awesome. Like,
yeah,
that became like what Jaws was to us, where it was a little before us, but we locked onto it. Mm-hmm. Like that became the Jaws for them. And I think that's so cool.
And I think it goes back to just something primal about, for the most part, kids love dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
I wanted to point something out. I thought of this last night. So Eric is in there eating like a Nestle Crunch bar or something. Mm-hmm. I have this weird little thing I don't like in movies where like people who have been starved and all of a sudden they're put in front of food and they're like, and like, I totally get it. I get it. I don't know what I would do in that scenario, so I'm not going to judge it. But he's eating like that. And I'm like, dude, you've been here for like 8 weeks. Like, is this just how you eat now? Like, did you, like when you open a Snickers bar, I don't like use all of my fingers and push it into my mouth. You know what I mean? Like I take a bite out of it.
Like does civilization get drained out of you so quickly?
Yeah. I just thought that was
that's really funny.
It would make sense if he had not eaten in like 2 weeks and just came across food. But I was like, it looks like he's got a bunch of candy bars. So why is he eating like that?
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
I did appreciate the director thinking to have Grant continue coughing for like the next 2 scenes. After
how funny! That's like just a little piece of continuity, right?
Yeah, like he wouldn't just be, someone gets shot in the leg in a film and then they're running effortlessly in the next
That's
scene. He's
so
like, no,
true.
man, Grant be coughing for a couple hours.
Well, at least that's one piece of continuity they maintained in this movie.
Right.
This now the portions of this movie were shot in Hawaii,
Okay.
and portions of this movie were shot on sound stages. But I think it says something about the cinematography. Shelley Johnson, who's like Joe Johnston's guy, you can't tell what are the sound stages and what are the actual exteriors.
I totally agree. I didn't think about it.
I mean, within the same scene from shot to shot will be, actual exteriors, soundstage, and it's seamless.
Yeah. Man, you're reminding me. I watched something the other day, and it was bugging me because I knew it was supposed to be outdoors and it wasn't. And I was like, just put the sun, make the light harsher on their face. So I at least believe the sun's on them. I can't remember what that was. But yeah, no, I agree. I think the cinematography is good.
This movie, summer of 2001. I mean, it's hard to remember, but I mean, it wasn't a particularly, memorable summer in terms of the big blockbusters.
I mean, that was Fast and Furious, right?
We had Fast and Furious, but yeah, but that's only.
Well, no, I'm not just saying that's
right?
the only other one I remember.
Like you had Pearl Harbor.
Oh wow! Okay,
right?
Okay.
You had, I think, the second Mummy was that summer. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And is that a joke, by the way? He's peeing and the water's going downstream, and then the Billy's drinking at the bottom there.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
It's so like you have to like kind of pay attention, and I was like, wait, is that a joke? It feels like something dumb that this character would do, peeing in the wrong spot to like poison the well, But Billy doesn't seem like the type of character who would be dumb enough to drink from it. Like that's right. Why I was kind of confused.
But I don't think it's a joke.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen this movie enough times that I'm surprised I never picked up on that.
Yeah.
I like that little reference to his raptor claw, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Grant's journey in the first film. It's a complete journey, right? Because it's the dinosaurs are ancillary to, as you said, he dislikes children, and then he learns to love children. That's his arc,
right?
So it's a little like the Lethal Weapon sequels in that. Well, what's Grant's journey,
right?
His emotional journey. I mean, we got the literal journey that we're witnessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they entirely figured that out.
Yeah. It might almost have worked in the second movie if he's sort of weirdly turned off from dinosaurs now and they were his passion. But then when he has the opportunity to save them from being poached,
right,
and to try to preserve the island, like just leave them alone. I'm going to actually take care of the dinosaurs in this one. Something like that.
Well, that was, in the initial plotting of this movie, they thought that instead of having it be the kid, it would be Grant, who has sort of gone native on the island.
Yeah, that was Spielberg's original idea,
which I'm not crazy about.
Nah, it doesn't feel in character.
Right, which is, far be it from me to tell Steve how to do his job. But
I mean, I can get down on the idea of someone doing that, someone who's associated with the park or whatever, but I don't know that it would be Grant.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great moment.
The slow realization that they didn't have the satellite phone. Which, by the way, did you know what a satellite phone was before you saw this movie?
Well, they mentioned 1 and 2. So
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I mean, in 2, then I was like, oh, okay, that was the thing.
That's right. So it must have been with the Lost World, where that was my first concept of a satellite phone. That's right.
Probably me too. Yeah.
But with this, I was like, oh, okay, so they're indestructible, and
yeah,
not like your average flip phone.
Exactly. Man, I got ahead of it when I said that this was awesome. I like the reveal of the dinosaur in this moment.
Yeah, it works. But here's the thought I have is as Grant and Eric. First of all,
it's scary,
right?
Yeah,
I've pooped again now. I'm on my second poop by the time I get to this part. There's just pants shitting happening all over
This
the
is
place.
good stuff. I like this. I mean, this is all. Yeah, the
Now,
action in this movie's great.
look at the fact that that hole happens to be there in the wall. How lucky is that?
You know what? That, but then I like that they subvert it here. Like, no problem. And it just like goes through.
That's right.
It almost like takes care of you questioning the hole.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know what's funny is when we talk about the Lost World, the critique oftentimes is the San Diego sequence feels like it's just stitched on.
You know
Right.
what? It's funny. Yeah. Again, watching it last night, my fiance thought the movie was ending, and she goes,
Yeah.
"It feels like it's when they were still on the island." And she was like, "It feels like it's ending, but it isn't." Like
Right.
she completely. She's like, "This feels like an ending, but the music is telling me it's not over or something." I was
That's
like, "Yeah."
really
I was like,
funny.
"There's like 20 minutes
That
left."
that tells me that like that's why you guys are like the perfect couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's keyed into this stuff. But you know, that critique, it's almost like the inverse for this one because it feels like it's missing a sequence,
It really does.
right?
Yeah, it really does.
Oh,
Which, by the
Billy.
way, we've said this already, but
You're such a disappointment, Billy.
There had to be another way, Billy.
I believed in you, Billy.
This was really like, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're like, oh, like I don't want to hear that.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. That's what it is.
I really even was thinking so far as like, what's it going to be like when they're at work again? Like it's going to be so. It's always going to be in the back of their minds. So we're not calling it out, but Billy took 2 velociraptor eggs and was carrying them around in his lucky backpack, which, by the way, the character Sarah had in
I was, you know, it's funny. I was watching this morning and my kid said that. I was like, so does everyone just have
a lucky backpack?
packs?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, why didn't he just call it his camera bag? You know? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't really care, but.
Well, because they needed to really call attention to the bag.
Yeah.
As a thing, so that he'd be like, "Can I have it back? Because it's my lucky bag, right?"
Makes sense.
But I like this moment here where Grant is like, you know, if we get rid of it, what happens when the raptors find us and we don't have them? It's smart. That's why he's our guy, Brian.
Yeah, he's our guy, and he's going to be back. Him and Laura Dern, right, in the next Jurassic World movie.
It is. The next Jurassic World is sort of like Fast and Furious number 4. Finally, everyone's back.
You're speaking my language. If we're gonna get nuts, let's get nuts.
I mean, isn't it kind of crazy that technically, like insofar as those original characters, it's taken this long to get them all back together?
Yeah. I can't wait. I want to see them.
Yeah, in front of F9 they showed the opening sequence of Jurassic World Dominion.
Say what? Was that an IMAX thing?
It was an IMAX thing, yeah. And you don't. This isn't a spoiler, but Alan Grant like gets killed off right in the first. No, I'm just joking.
That sounds like a spoiler to me.
No, I'm just kidding. No. It starts in the dinosaur time.
Oh.
And basically it's this extended sequence that shows you where the mosquito in the amber originated.
The mosquito?
The mosquito, capital T, capital M.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, so that I don't think that's a spoiler, but I thought that was neat.
Now, obviously,
it's a nice way of tying it all together, but all the way back to the original movie.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, after 6 movies, it feels like, yeah, that's a good idea.
It's time.
It's time.
I seriously think this reveal coming up with the pteranodon is like one of the best parts in all the movies. I think it's done so effectively.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
It's freaking horrifying.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
This was. It feels like a leftover piece from the second one. I think.
Yeah.
They wanted something with pteranodons, and it does strike one as odd that they did wait until the third movie before you brought pterodactyls like into the story, you know?
Yeah, I thought I was reading somewhere, and you never know if this stuff is accurate or not, but that was the original thought for the ending of the first one, that Grant looks out the window and sees like pterodactyls or something.
Yeah,
but then
right.
According to what I read, they changed it more or less last minute back to pelicans or whatever it is. I don't know if that's true or not.
Certainly the end of this movie, it sort of echoes the end of the first one in that sense.
Yeah.
Here where Tay Leone's like, she's being extra sort of mother hen, and he's like, I'll be fine. He wasn't fine. Listen to your mom, kids.
That's right.
Even when she's super annoying, like Tay Leone in Jurassic Park 3.
I just remember, I think we already passed it, but she's like yelling a lot at the beginning, and everyone's like, shh, don't do that. That's not a good idea.
Shut up.
And then later, I think it's the H. Macy character starts yelling. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, okay. You know what? And also, I had to admire whatever prop people or whatever visual effects people made that pterodactyl poop.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks like poop. Like that, it crumbles the way you'd imagine bird poop would. I was like, what is that? That's pretty good.
Also, what we saw, where Eric is holding the thing and it kind of shakes. You're like, oh, see, that's the thing, landing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she got across.
Right. This is a great reveal too. Yeah, it's a bird
It really
cage.
is. I mean,
yeah.
It all. Look at that, dude.
That's awful.
Right?
Yeah. That's just the last thing you want to
imagine seeing that. That's my fourth poop, Brian.
Yeah.
Those of you keeping track.
Yeah, that's nightmare stuff there. This is kind of too, when it takes it over to its nest with its babies. I was like, ugh.
Right?
Like,
and I mean, you see there's like the skull of a dude.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, he like grabs a skull and throws it at the
yeah.
Somebody was not so lucky.
Right. Ugh.
Yeah, right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Whoever that poor
Luke
bastard
Skywalker's that skull and tosses it.
That's right.
Billy.
Now
Billy's Redemption.
Here,
that's what this track needs to be called.
Now, here's the thing about this. I mean, it's a nice moment, right? Yeah. Because I think the movie's made us like Billy enough, I think.
Yeah.
To like want him to be redeemed in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it'd be funny if he does this whole heroic thing and he just glides right past Eric. Like it serves no purpose.
Right.
Like right here, he just
past him. Yeah.
Past him. And he just kind of lands like, oh, okay, well, that didn't work.
Right. Oh, that's hilarious. These little squirmy, peckery sort of puppet dinosaurs are haunting.
Yes.
Like those things that take out Peter Stormare.
I was going to mention, yeah, they're like the compies in the second one. Yeah. Exactly.
Did I say that right, by the way? I wasn't confident.
Peter I hear Stormare and I hear Stormari.
Okay. I have to acknowledge that I was called out for the Rocketeer commentary track where I called Joe Johnston Joe Johnson the whole time, and I was more.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was like,
folks, you got to realize Brian was drunk through most of that track. So you saying that is actually very hurtful, folks. I think.
No, I was like, I can't believe it. Ugh.
Yeah, this whole birdcage sequence, I think, is really well done.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you have to imagine that, just given what we know about the production of this movie, they had certain action sequences like, okay, we definitely got to have this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they sort of built a story around that. And I think out of the memorable action sequences in this movie is, the raptor chase in the embryonic center, the pterodactyl thing here, and I think the thing with the Spinosaurus at the end, I think for the most part, those all work.
Mm-hmm.
So to the point that you were making earlier, I feel like you needed a little bit more sort of muscle layered on top of the skeleton, so to speak, to make us care more about the characters,
Exactly.
I wonder if these were characters who we knew, if that would help,
Maybe.
Like instead of Eric, it's Timmy who's missing or something. Like
Yeah, it's hard to imagine why he'd be there, but
yeah.
I agree. I might. I don't know. I just, for some reason, I never get endeared to this family, and I think that's a big part of the
I
problem.
think it's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
See now, everything narratively is leading up to Billy being dead.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's how movies have conditioned us. I mean, this,
I mean, he never
they do
does
everything. They do everything but have a pterodactyl pull out a revolver and shoot him in the head. They do everything but that. Right?
Yeah, because I was thinking, even before we got to this last night, and I remembered nothing about this, I thought he was kind of marching off to his death, but in
Right.
redemption fashion. Go
yeah,
help Eric.
right.
And,
yeah.
But then, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, he didn't kill anyone. He just made a bad decision.
I wonder if that was the thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, well, geez, I mean.
Yeah, he just got greedy for a minute.
Right? You deserve to die.
You got greedy, Billy.
It's the potato in Conan O'Brien. Guilty.
Yeah, exactly. But no. It's okay. He didn't hurt anybody. Guilty. That's so good.
But that shot there earlier, where the water runs red with blood as the pterodactyl looks at the camera. I'm like, well, he's meant to be 100% dead.
Right.
Right? Because at the end, like, hey, we found your buddy. And I'm like, where?
Yeah. I wonder if now in the age of, CGI and whatnot, if they would have digitally taken the red out of the water.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Maybe at this point they couldn't.
See, I just assumed, well, they want us to think he's dead so that it's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
But it would be more meaningful if he came back at a time to affect the story.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Agreed. Like, as long as you're going to have this, lazy river, rickety boat sort of thing, maybe he's like turned into Kurtz and he's hanging with all the dinosaurs in a cave.
That's right.
Like, we need you to come with us, Billy.
Billy. Next time we see him, he has the revolver that the pterodactyl shot him with.
Yes,
he's like,
exactly.
You son of a bitch.
Right. These are all good. I wish we could have given these notes to them.
Needs more dinosaur revolvers.
Yeah, we're going to need a revolver that a dinosaur can hold.
Maybe have him wearing a trench coat, the dinosaur, maybe?
Yeah. That way we know he's like a little sketchy.
I like this bit here, though, where he's talking about, his relationship with Billy and the whole thing about, regretting, the last thing he said to him. I mean, to me, that stuff works.
Yeah, I agree. I love this character. This is a great character, Alan Grant.
Isn't it amazing that really, when you think about it, after one movie, we just fell in love with him?
Yeah. It's built in now. So anytime he shows up, we bring that with us.
Yeah. I mean, you wonder, like, for as much as we love Harrison Ford, would he have worked as Alan Grant?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he would have.
Yeah.
But Sam Neill is Alan Grant.
Yeah. That's interesting because Harrison Ford, all his characters, as much as we like them, he does have like a little distance with people, whether it's Han Solo or Indiana Jones or whatnot. And, there's this real fatherly thing that Sam Neill brings. It's really nice.
I agree. See, this sequence right here, which is obviously meant to evoke, when we see the dinosaurs the first time in Jurassic Park. This is the only part in this movie where I really look at the CGI and it looks a little ropey to me.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is because that original sequence still looks so friggin' amazing.
It's astounding that the one from 1993 still looks the best of all of them.
So it's better. Like this, it doesn't. It's forcing the comparison.
Yes.
So I don't know. This little bit right here always takes me out of it for whatever reason. I've seen this movie a fair amount of times.
Yeah. I guess this riverboat thing I was reading was a remnant from 1 or 2 also.
It seems like makes sense, right? Like in the second one, it feels like it would have made more sense in.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of the Jurassic Park canon, the question is, well, what happened to Site B
Yeah.
between movie 3 and Jurassic World?
Mm.
And the in-canon reason, as provided by various video games and whatnot, and the official website, is that InGen gathered up whatever surviving dinosaurs were left on Isla Sorna and moved them over to Isla Nublar. So there are no more dinosaurs left
And Sorna.
on Isla Sorna.
Okay.
So I know those of you listening were wondering. There you go.
I was.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. So they say with sequels, you always gotta, try to do similar things to the first one, but bigger. Now we got 3 big piles of shit.
Now this dinosaur, I believe it's a Carnotaur, I think.
Okay.
They don't
Reminds me of Red Skull, to be honest.
It does kind of look like Red Skull. Let me just pull up a Carnotaurus. I'm curious.
So that's the joke, right? It sniffed the poop and was like, no, thank you. And walks away.
That's basically.
I was thinking that I would want to wash my hands pretty thoroughly. Some lava soap.
It's gross.
After that. It's funny. I was really grossed out when they were sticking their hands in there and everything. And then seeing all this rain, I was like, oh, I'd be so thankful for this rain right now.
Right? Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
The rest of the trip, it's just like, nope.
Yep.
just a shit-smelling hand for the rest of your life, really.
The rest of your life.
The smell will never go away in your mind.
What day won't you think about that?
Yeah, right.
I like that thing with the belt too, where he's using the belt to try to start the engine. That's good.
What I like is Alan Grant is a character who has a very specific area of expertise.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
So he's going to, literally in just a second, he's going to be in over his head.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in that sense, this sequence right here, that's what makes it more overwhelming than anything we've seen him encounter up to this point in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like one thing after the other, trying to get the phone and this kid ruining everything.
Yeah. This looks good. That obviously looks like an animatronic thing. And I mean that in a good way. It looks really physical.
You mean the guy in the Barney costume?
Yes.
Yes.
No, it's just, I like all this.
I think this sequence is great.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep away with the satellite phone and everything, I think it all works.
Yeah.
And then you're like, dumb kid,
yes.
Come on.
I know.
I always knew Barney was responsible for corrupting our youth.
Yep.
And this movie's proof. That was my hard line in the sand with my kids. I was like, they were not allowed to watch Barney.
Really? Is that still around?
It is, as far as I know. I don't know if they're making new episodes, but they do.
But it's still, kids are still being exposed to it.
They are, unfortunately.
Interesting.
It's a pox on humanity that's being allowed to permeate unchecked, Brian.
Yeah. It's the dinosaur man.
You got to give it up to Ellie. All she hears is the river, glub, glub, site B, glub, glub.
Yes.
And she calls in the whole goddamn United Nations.
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. The river, site B.
Right? Call into action, Like, see, one could easily be like, take that as a script failing. And I say no. That's how goddamn good Ellie Sattler is.
I was going to say, or their relationship, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, the only reason Alan would call me is if he's drowning in the river on Site B.
Right. Yeah, she didn't even catch what he said. She just knows. Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I was reading a thing online, talking about Jurassic World Dominion, where somebody was like, "Oh, I hope Grant and Sattler are back together," and I was like, "I don't want that. Like, she's happily married."
That's a good point. I'm going to lie, or not lie. Maybe I might relate to this person. I was like, yeah, me too. But then you're totally right. I don't want this guy to be like dead.
You're like, I hope she had a bitter divorce. Well, that's no good. I hope her husband died horribly. Well, that's no good. Like, what's the good option that ends with Grant and Sattler back together?
Good point. You know what though? As I said earlier, I do actually really respect the whole concept of them just being, if romantically it didn't work out, they're just great friends.
That's what I like.
That's a really cool, mature thing to see in a movie, and so
because you tend not to see that, Brian.
Yeah.
You tend not to see that in movies.
Yeah. I mean, it happens in life occasionally, but it's like, it's almost a concept you want something that's a little more this, that, or the other thing in a movie.
Right.
And you don't see other things as often.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Smile, you son of a... No, this is great.
I mean, Grant, certainly in the first movie, is very much like Brody.
Yeah.
He's got this thing he's good at, but he's been dropped into a scenario he's completely unprepared for. How does he get through it,
Yeah. It's all head knowledge, right? So now he's like...
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is where you have Billy come back with his revolver. He's got to have the revolver. Sorry.
Oh, totally. He's still got the parachute. He's like, from the sky. Yeah.
He's wearing like a leather jacket made of a pterodactyl pelt.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Shaved head. You went through something in these past couple hours.
The thing that I always think about with these movies where you have a couple that has broken up and then the film is about getting them back together, I always think about this, and certainly in this movie, it's like, well, the specific like adrenaline and everything else that brought you back together, like once you're back in Oklahoma or wherever, I think they're from Oklahoma, right? Well, what happens when all that is gone and it's all back to the same shitty thing? Like, oh, he always leaves the toilet seat up or whatever reason they got divorced. It's going to go away.
I think a movie that was paying more attention to this would probably give them some sort of specific issues or something that she calls out and we actually see him do, but this adventure calls his attention to it and he addresses it and he's going to make an earnest attempt to make a change and grow because he's grown from this adventure, and you would root for them. We don't know if they'll work out, but we would like, you know what, this, it's like an extreme version of therapy for them. And maybe this will be the thing that will help them. And we're rooting for them, but this movie doesn't go so far as to give us.
We don't get a clear sense of what broke them up, really. Right.
It just feels like they wanted to give them some business, So
right. Yeah. And I mean, as that Macy quote that you mentioned earlier, I mean, as it alludes to, I mean, he signed on to play a completely different version of this character.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, and I mean, it got changed through the rewrites, and
really,
it sort of, I mean,
that's do you know? Thing. Do you know more about that? I'm curious.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that whole notion of Kirby Enterprises, that was not a feint. That was meant to be real.
Oh, interesting. This feels like something out of a nightmare, where it's like you're being observed by these monsters and just sort of being like penitent on the ground and like, okay, hopefully this works and they'll leave.
Yeah. Brian, when you think about it, I think making Macy more of like an average schlub, it makes the divorce plot less effective.
How do you mean?
Like if he's like a corporate guy and that's what's driven the family apart, then that gives him something to work past. Right? But he's William H. Macy. How can you not love William H. Macy?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We need to see them grow. Like, I don't know that I've seen them grow.
Yeah.
They've just been through something intense and they are familiar with one another and they're finding comfort in one another.
Right. So here we go. He's gonna communicate with the velociraptors now.
Yes.
Ooga booga booga.
You're right.
I mean, again, he's blowing into this thing. They're like, and it's like, what do you think he's saying?
I know.
They're like, wait, Wait, Larry, he's one of us.
Right.
Okay.
Is
All
that,
right,
or do
let's
they
go.
think they're hearing it off screen? Do they think they're hearing another raptor, or is he's saying something to them?
I took it as he blows into the thing and he's doing like raptor talk, and they're like, well, this person who looks nothing like a velociraptor is obviously a velociraptor.
Right.
A hideously mutated velociraptor, let's just leave him alone and not make him feel bad about what he looks like.
He shall be our king.
Yeah, right?
Take the eggs and go. Maybe he said, this has all been a grave misunderstanding. Wah, 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 wah.
It's my first day.
It's my first day. Es mi dia primero. Quack, 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 quack.
Quack, quack. So, I mean, literally, Brian, this is where the movie ends.
Yeah.
Like, they just ran out of what to do.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're at 90 minutes-ish, right? I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the ending of a Bugs Bunny short.
It is! You're so right.
He calls in the Marines, you know?
Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, it's almost like a little... It's funny, but it's also a little too silly by half.
Yeah.
You know, like this whole military, like, hip, 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 you know, getting off of the... the vehicles, and I don't know.
It'd be funny if you have Ellie exit one of these ships and she's like, I called in the entire military and the Navy because I realized I've loved you all along, and then she kisses him.
Then me and that person on the internet would be so happy.
Yeah. And then little Charlie's like, I love you too, new father.
Yes, right.
And then her husband steps off. He's like, you should have been with her all along, Alan.
You're right. Yeah.
And then he takes that pterodactyl revolver and shoots himself. It's a perfect ending. Yeah.
I was going to say, and then he's like, I'm going to take that.
No, but everybody cheers at that moment. Yay! And as their arms go up, we freeze. It's a freeze frame. And then the Jurassic Park theme starts.
I was going to at least let him climb a mountain and write a book about it or something.
No. No witnesses, Brian.
Everybody cheered. Poor what's his name?
I don't even know. I was going to say Mr. Ellie. I don't know his name. Now, folks, despite what it sounds like, I truly love this movie. I enjoy watching it every time I see it.
Yeah, I agree with what you've been articulating. I sound a little more down on it, but like the fun is fun, but like I don't really connect with this movie like the others, so I'd probably never pick this one over the others to watch. But you know, like I enjoy the actual adventure and journey and characters in the others more. But there's some fun to be had in this one for sure.
See, for me, when I watch the Jurassic movies, once I start, I can't stop.
Yeah.
So this is like the 12th Pringle.
Yes.
Like I've had the 11 before it, so I'm having this one too.
Yep. And I get it. I get it.
So this right here, the shot of the pterodactyls. I mean, yeah, that's clearly echoing the first movie, right? I mean, but again, it's meant to be this kind of beautiful scene, but it's also, we've seen those things. They're goddamn terrifying.
I know. And how far are they flying?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of killing that's about to happen as soon as the credits stop rolling.
Right. Alexander Payne. I didn't notice that last night.
Just right there. Elections, Alexander Payne, right there, nestled in the middle.
Yeah.
Michael Crichton, I'm sure he enjoyed the garage that this movie allowed to be built on his house.
That's why I paid for his DJ equipment so he could, for his hobbies.
Now, Crichton died in, what was it, like 2009?
Yeah, I don't remember
2008.
Exactly. It feels
I think
about right.
2000. It was either 8 or 9, because it was during the last season of ER. I remember that.
Dude, that was on all the way through 8 or 9?
That ended in 2009.
Wow.
That ended in 2009. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. Now, what's weird to me here is that in these credits here, Laura Dern is not listed.
Oh, not even a and?
Yeah, surprising. I'm like, she's in the full credit list.
Huh. That is surprising.
You'd think she would be the and.
We're going to need to talk to her agent.
So to which I say, hey, Joe Johnston, Why you gotta hate on Laura Dern?
Yeah, I mean, again, that feels like something that'd be in her contract.
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
Because I was watching that with the kids and I was like, wait, did I miss her name? I like rewound it. They didn't miss it. Now I have to say, I mean, for all of our joking, I think Joe Johnston is, if anybody was going to be tasked with sort of pulling this whole thing together, I think you couldn't have asked for a better guy than Joe Johnston. I think he made this movie better than it might otherwise have been.
I agree. I can imagine the version of this, where there isn't any, regardless of
there's
what was missing in terms of script and story.
Yeah.
The whole visual execution is very strong. So without that, I mean, this thing would be, who knows?
Yeah. All right. So, hey, while we're talking, earlier we got so dug into our workshopping of the end of the movie.
As we do.
As we tend to. I forgot to mention that I actually read the original ending of this movie.
I'm super curious about this.
Now, this is available online. You can find it.
Oh.
And it was in the script. It was in the shooting script. So that means it was a late change.
Okay.
And it's a superior ending. So, Brian, it's really weird to me that they, for whatever reason, they changed it.
Yeah. Like we said, it's like rushed ending. Yeah.
It's like, it feels like it was like it's like the Bruce Willis movies that are made these days, where it's like, well, we got Bruce for a day, and if we don't get him done in a day, well, we just we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like, because the original ending, what we just saw is that they walk out of they walk onto the beach, and there's the dude like, hey, what's up, and then it's the Bugs Bunny ending, right?
Yeah.
So the way it was originally written, you have Grant and Eric. They walk onto the beach first, and they see helicopters coming. So it's just two helicopters.
Okay.
And they also, Grant finds the boat that from the beginning.
Right.
Which, when you think about it, that's like kind of a random plot thing that doesn't go anywhere, but it does feel like we need to explain that. Like, well, what happened on the boat?
Right.
So the helicopters are coming. Grant sees the boat, and he sees claw marks like from pteranodons.
Okay.
So now Eric is like, Mom, Dad, the helicopters are coming. And Grant realizes that they're like hiding in the trees.
He's like, Eric, freeze!
Yeah, it's literally like that.
Yeah.
So now the helicopters are coming, and you have a bunch of pteranodons that attack the helicopters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So now you have, one of the helicopters crashes because it gets overtaken. One of them, you have Paul and Amanda and Eric. They get on the helicopter. It takes off, and the guy just has to take off because the pteranodons are coming after it. So Grant is still on the beach, right? So he's running after it. So Paul like throws down one of those rope ladders,
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got Grant like jumping on. He's hanging onto the rope ladder. And meanwhile, you've got this pterodactyl that's basically coming after him, and it's like tangled up in the rope, and it's trying to bite him, and he's trying to, right?
Yeah.
And so they're trying to, and so Grant is like, I need to cut the rope, right? And there's nothing sharp to cut it with. And Eric has, what does he have? The raptor claw.
Yep.
So he gives Grant the raptor claw, and he kind of like cuts it, but it's not enough. Like it's there's nowhere left to cut. So Grant like basically kind of positions himself in such a way where the pterodactyl is like coming at his hand, and then he moves his hand, and it ends up biting the rope.
Oh, okay.
And so it falls down towards the water, and then it goes back to the island. So you're like, oh,
yeah,
right. So kind of a like cool action sequence.
Yeah.
So obviously there's no Billy. Billy is still 100% dead.
Oh, okay. So that was
that was like an Alessandro Nivola thing where he's like, "Hey, can I still like be alive?" So, But even the ending, I like, where it's similar, where they're on the helicopter, and it's kind of a breather, and you've got Eric. He's like, "What do you think is going to happen with the dinosaurs?" And Grant is like, "Well, the population will stabilize eventually. They'll adapt to different roles." And then Paul's like, "Either that, or the government will firebomb it back to the Stone Age." And Amanda's like, "I would completely support that." And I like this. Eric says, I hope they don't. I want to come back someday. And Dr. Grant realizes, Grant, so do I.
Ah,
Isn't that good?
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So
And
that's
it's yeah, yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, that obviously feels like a budget thing,
Yes.
right? I mean, it really is I don't know, the military shows up and let's get out of here. And I read that most of that was CGI anyway.
Right.
But I think you could have at least kept that last moment
Yeah.
between the parents and Eric and Grant. I like that just as a instead of just let's go and then and like run away and then
Right.
the credits roll. Like that feels like what we've been saying, like some of the character stuff missing, just a little we get like a nice little summary of how they feel after all of this at the end of it. And I miss that.
Well, and I think going back to what we were saying before, right? Like the first film is about Grant's arc as he goes from antipathy towards kids to feeling, paternal.
Yeah.
And this allows kind of a different arc where it's antipathy towards the existence of these creatures. And he's been on this journey that sort of made him realize what their place in all this is and what his place in it is. And,
Yeah, kind of what I was saying, where I wish that almost he had been there in part 2 for that sort of catharsis.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up. That's really interesting to know and makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a shame. We talk about this all the time where it's like, film is forever. Like once you've done it, you've done it, and it's so for me, as I've said, like this is not a movie that I dislike, but knowing that there was a stronger ending does make you say, oh man, that's a shame. It's like Lost to the Ages,
Yeah. I mean, that's when I say makes sense, I mean that when you watch the ending that we were given, it doesn't feel entirely correct.
Yeah.
Like you can sort of sense that something in like production was like a miss or whatever, and we just had to do that.
Yeah.
But man, that's great. So, okay, when you said it was online, the first thing I thought was that this deleted scene was online, but it's just the script pages.
That's great. Yeah, let me rephrase. Yeah, they never shot it. So it's in the shooting script, but for whatever reason they made a last minute deletion. Yeah, it was never shot. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I just like having it in my head canon.
Right. Now, in terms of this movie's impact on the rest of the films, I mean, obviously, in neither of the Jurassic World films do they directly refer to Isla Sorna. However, we do see a Spinosaurus hologram in the visitor center in Jurassic World, and we see a big Spinosaurus skeleton, which the Indominus Rex crashes through. So, at least by implication, we're able to say, well, yeah, this world is part of the this film is part of the tapestry of this entire universe. And I think what Jurassic Park 3 really illustrated was ultimately the limitations of having to contrive reasons to get our characters back among the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
The last film, Fallen Kingdom, which is itself pretty polarizing, I think the way that movie ended was really the only way you could go.
I agree.
Which is just, okay, well, dinosaurs are out there. It's everywhere now. Because otherwise you run out of stories to tell.
Yeah. Our
characters
keeping them
idiots.
contained is just, I mean, it's going to exhaust itself.
Yeah. And I think we saw that here. I don't think, I mean, I'm disappointed that there weren't more movies between this one and Jurassic World, but I don't think it's terribly surprising because it was not for lack of interest, because this movie did all right. There was clearly an audience for it, but it was that issue of trying to come up with stories to tell. And it's a little bit like a Jaws syndrome in that sense.
Right. Where you eventually find yourself. I've never even seen it. Is that 4 where Jaws' son is seeking revenge after Brody's family?
Yes,
something?
and the shark's name is not Jaws. It's Melvin, by the way.
Is it? Did they give it a name?
No.
I mean, except for Bruce. Yeah.
Bruce, right? But I mean, it's funny how everyone calls the shark Jaws.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess it's like Frankenstein's monster or something.
I remember growing up, there was a kid who lived in my building who called Uncle Scrooge DuckTales because he thought that. I was like, you are a stupid child. And then I just walked away. with my pterodactyl trench coat, pterodactyl skin. I think by the time we get to Jaws 4, the shark, aka Jaws, is following the family, or the Ellen Brody. It has a vendetta, a blood feud with the Brodies, which is cockamamie and idiotic.
Yes.
And that's where you start ending up in this film series if you don't take that into account. I mean, when you think about it, like Jurassic World, the premise makes sense because, well, the park already exists.
That's a great idea. Yeah, the park's open.
And there you go. You got one. You get one movie. Like, if they reopen the park after that,
yeah,
then they're just stupid.
Right.
That's sort of the critique. How many times are they going to keep opening that park? It's like, well, they only did it in one time in the fourth movie.
Right.
Dummy. I take these criticisms very personally, Brian.
I know.
But here we are. So look at it this way, Brian. We have knocked this one out. We have finished the original Jurassic Park trilogy.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I did enjoy going back because I remembered not a thing from this except for Alan on the plane. So yeah, the pterodactyl cage thing is great, and the action's fun.
What more can one ask for?
Yeah. Character and
details. Those are details, Brian. Just details. Well, with that, why don't we wrap up this discussion? The nice thing is, by the time Jurassic World Dominion comes out next summer, that'll be just in time for us to go back and rewatch Jurassic World.
Yeah. I remember liking that. I haven't seen it probably since the year it came out, and
I saw it a couple times when it came out, but I don't remember much about it. Since so that I wouldn't mind revisiting that. So that'll be fun. Yeah. And our next commentary track, we're going to keep the Joe Johnston train running.
Oh,
because we got Captain America: The First Avenger.
I can't wait to see that again. I haven't seen that since the theater.
This is a triple Johnston summer.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
That's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm excited. So that'll be fun. And of course, we'll be back soon with our next regular episode where we'll be talking about some manner of shit that is worthy of discussion, one presumes.
Yeah.
But folks, if you have any questions or comments for us, please let us know. Please email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of this commentary and what other commentaries you would like to hear from us. In addition, you can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast, and message us there. As always, please go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps. And with that said, on behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zaki Hassan. This has been our movie film commentary track for Jurassic Park 3. We will catch you next time.